have been condemnations from several nations over Hamas attacks. There have been few countries where some have supported the actions of the militants. In Lebanon, hundreds of Hezbollah supporters took to the streets and gathered in a southern suburb to celebrate the operation by Hamas against Israel. Hezbollah supporters raised their Palestinian flags together with Hezbollah flag and chanted supportive slogans, while others distributed celebratory sweets to passers-by.
شيء بيرفع الراس وشيء العالم اندهشت من انتظام المقاومة، من قوتها الكبيرة ومن الشرف الكبير اللي نحن عم نحس فيه والعزة والكرامة.
While some consider the surprise attack a victory for the resistance against Israel, others express their joy and happiness and announce the 7th of October as a day of victory.
مثل كان 12 تموز كان هو يوم النصر للبنان، ويوم 7 تشرين هو يوم النصر والتحرير للقدس، وإن شاء الله رح نحرر القدس ورح نصلي بالقدس قريباً.
The demonstration was one of the many that occurred in Lebanon. In Gaza City, thousands of Gazans packed a central square on Friday evening to commemorate the 36th anniversary of the founding of the militant group Islamic Jihad. The crowd waved Palestinian flags and held signs with the faces of Palestinians killed by Israeli fire.
المشهد يلتف فصائل المقاومة الفلسطينية لتدعم حركة الجهاد الإسلامي ولتصل رسالة إلى العدو الصهيوني بأن غزة كلها مقاومة، غزة موحدة خلف فوهة البندقية. جئنا اليوم نبايع.
Moving on to Afghanistan. The death toll from an earthquake in western Afghanistan has risen to more than 2,000, with thousands more injured. The quake has triggered landslides and led to collisions of buildings. Authorities have warned that the death toll could rise. Rescuers also scraped through the debris and earth to find the young child in Herat, western Afghanistan. However, it's not known if the child survived. The epicenter of the magnitude 6.3 quake was 40 kilometers northwest of the region's largest city, Herat, and was followed by 8 aftershocks with magnitudes between 4.3 and 6.3. Hundreds of homes which had been razed to the ground near the epicenter of the earthquakes. Crowds of residents fled buildings in the city of Herat as the series of tremors began, although casualty reports from the metropolitan area were minimal. Afghanistan is frequently hit by earthquakes, especially in the Hindu Kush mountain range, which lies near the junction of the Eurasian and Indian tectonic plates.
مریضایی که به شفاخانه آورده شده از طریق شخصی و از طریق ایراد آمبولانس خدمات اولیه ابتدایی اساسی برای از اونا ارائه شده و تمام دعا و کیت‌های عاجلی که در شفاخانه موجود بوده به دسترس از اونها. به طوری که شما می‌بینیم این خدمات هنوز هم ادامه داره و هنوز هم از اطراف و از ولسوالیا متاسفانه بعضی واقعات به شفاخانه آورده میشه.
دیدم که تمام اتاق از این طرف به اون طرف شدن. زمانی که از اتاقم بیرون شدم پیش از اینکه چپلک گفای اینا رو بپوشم به زمین افتادم. پاهای من مردو آگاه شده دیگه تلفن ما صفحه میره شد. خلاصه خیلی حالت وحشتناک بود دیگه. تمام مریض و پایواز تمام در حال گریزان دیگه. شفاخانه خود کشتن فعلا هم دروازه شفاخانه مسدوده به خاطر از اینکه یعنی وحشت ببینی مریض و پایواز و پرسنل هیچ کس داخل شده نمیتونه فعلا میتونه. شدت از هم مشخص نیست که آیا بعد از این پس لرزه داره.
Herat, 120 kilometers east of the border with Iran, is considered the cultural capital of Afghanistan. It is the capital of Herat province, which is home to an estimated population of 1.9 million. ongoing Israel-Hamas war has brought back memories of the 1973 Yom Kippur War, which had triggered an oil crisis that year. The similarities between October 2023 and October 1973 are obvious on the brink of the 50th anniversary of the world's first oil crisis, an unexpected assault on Israel and an increase in oil prices. But a Bloomberg report states that the similarity stops right there. Another Arab fuel embargo that would double the price of a barrel of oil is not ready to hit the world economy. However, it would be a mistake to minimize the likelihood that oil prices would continue to rise globally. The situation is unstable and everything for the oil market hinges on how Israel reacts to Hamas, who carried out the assault, and Iran, which often controls the Palestinian organization. However, we can make a few inferences. It is hardly the same problem as in October 1973. Israel is not being attacked by all Arab nations at once. The Arab world as a whole, including Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Saudi Arabia, and the rest, is observing the events from a distance rather than influencing them. The oil market as a whole lacks all the features before October 1973. And importantly, OPEC members are not attempting to raise prices significantly this time. Instead of driving oil prices more than 100% higher to $200 per barrel, Riyadh would be happy if they increased another 10 to 20% to slightly beyond $100 from the present $85 per barrel. Now, just before the oil embargo in October 1973, OPEC countries unilaterally increased official fuel prices by around 70%. And the aftermath of the latest surprise attack on Israel may still affect oil prices between 2023 and 2024. And if Israel comes to the conclusion that Hamas followed Tehran's orders, it might have the most direct effect. In such a situation, oil prices may rise significantly. Iran proved in 2019 that it has the ability to significantly reduce Saudi Arabia's oil production capacity by using proxies in Yemen. Now, if it comes under Israeli or American assault, it may respond by doing the same. What might help this time, rather, is the U.S. emergency oil reserves. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve, or SPR, may be used by Washington to reduce the effect on fuel prices and President Joe Biden's popularity rating, which is a significant departure from 1973. The White House will undoubtedly deploy the SPR if oil prices rise due to unrest in the Middle East. The reverse still has enough oil in it to go through another crisis. The reserve still has enough oil in it to go through another crisis, even if it is at its lowest point in 40 years.